So, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here, you guys. I have a lot of people still sleeping in my house. So I thought maybe they'd get up for yoga, but no, not so much. So, well, we've been working through the niyamas, and the one we're on is Svadhyaya, which is kind of a fancy name. I like it. Svadhyaya, and it means self-study or spiritual study. And I think yoga in itself is kind of that. It helps you self-study and helps you get to know your spirit better. But I just wanted to share a little bit from the meditations from the mat, since he kind of expounds on all of that. So the fourth niyama is Svadhyaya, which literally means education of the self or self-study. This observance is most commonly associated with the expectation that the serious yoga student will develop the practice of reading sacred literature. In my own life, this means that I'm always reading something by one or another of the writers I consider my spiritual teachers. This is not to say that I don't treat myself to some trashy fiction or a history book, but I stay close to the words of my teachers as well. I read their books over and over again, and as the years go by, I find that their lessons are always fresh. This reading practice works both to ground my everyday behavior and to give me insight into new spiritual terrain. As in every other aspect of the yogic way of life, there is a magic to this process of seeking out and reading those works that speak to our true nature. The words of our teachers slowly work their way into our consciousness. Often we find that statements or concepts that we couldn't understand or had no use for when we first read them come alive days or months or even years later as the circumstances of our lives confirm their messages. There's also magic in the ways in which our teachers eventually speak through us. Our thoughts, words, and deeds are informed by the writings of our teachers. It is a magnificent experience to see the beauty of our teachers' souls become manifest in our own lives, to see the loving hands that have touched us touch others through us. Through spiritual reading, we gain communion with the divine power on which our hearts are set. So think about that as we embark on this yogic hour. It really helps us learn more about ourselves physically and spiritually. Take a few long, slow, deep breaths and just check in with your physical body. And check in with your spiritual and mental state. Bring hands to heart center. when we learn to study ourselves, I believe we see more clearly others. And we're much better able to see the beauty and the grace that resides in all. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. Yeah, welcome, Julie. So just sitting where you are, kind of lean back and bring your feet out around a cat. So lean back and just do a few windshield wipers just to warm up your hips. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really feeling tight this morning. So we're just gonna go slow to explore a little bit. See how everything's feeling. Good. And then come on up to all fours and stretch your feet long. And just kind of slowly sit back on your heels. Stretch out your ankles a little bit. Your quads. Lengthen your spine. Is she okay? Okay, it doesn't bother you. Okay. Press your toes down. Oh yeah, I know. It's a little. You can, if your knees bother you, you can always stick a blanket behind there. It kind of helps. And still get the weight on your ankles. Yeah. Is that better? Yeah. Good. And then come forward. And work through a couple cow cats. One more round. And then widen the knees, big toes together, and go ahead and take a child's pose. And in this child's pose, stretch your arms long. Press your palms down. Begin to notice the length of the side body. Breathe really deep into the low belly and the low back. And then slide forward into all fours again. And your hands will be slightly in front of your shoulders, and just stretch your left arm up. And then thread it underneath, or thread the needle. Hi, RD. I'm so excited to be down here. And she's so excited Connor's not around to torture her. Really try and draw your sternum back a little bit. You'll feel a nice stretch. If you want to, you can even stretch your right leg out to the side. And then coming on up, we'll switch sides. So extend the right arm and thread it through. Draw the sternum back. You can stretch the left leg out if you want. Oh, that feels good. Yeah, can we just stay here? And then come on back up and swivel your right foot. The knee stays there. Stretch the left leg. Come up to that side plank. Yeah, feel a big stretch. You can stretch the arm by the ear if you'd like. That feels good. And come on down and switch sides. So left foot swivels, right leg extends, stretch up, and maybe stretch arm by ear. And come on down. We're gonna do that one more time. So right foot swivels, left foot extends. Bring the left hand to your hip. Make sure your right hand's forward, and then just bend the left knee a little bit, move the left foot back. So you're pressing through the ball of your foot, and then open your heart up and maybe extend the arm so it's kind of like a wild thing, side plank variation. Oh. And come on in, and we'll try that on the other side. So the left foot, just take your time setting up. I want to make sure my spine's set first, and then I might move the foot back. And I think really long spine, open the heart, extend the arm if you want. Long back of neck. Good. And come on down. Oh. And then slide into cow pose again. And around to cat. And then pause with a flat back and extend your right leg so your hips in line with your other hip. So right hip and left hip stay in line. Bend the right knee. And then think, I'm going to lift the knee a little bit and come more into a cow variation, but the right hip still stays parallel to the left. And then I'm going to round and bring my knee towards my nose to cat, but it's a variation on cat. And then just do that 2 more times. So extend the leg back, move into a cow, and then with the knee to nose, round to cat. One more time. Round. And then bring the right knee down, find a flat back, extend the left leg. Think long spine, low belly up, bend the knee, keep the hips square, and move into that cow pose and round to cat. 3 times on your own. You can utilize your breath if you want. Try to keep the hips square, keep everything engaged and lengthening. And then bring the knee down. As you're self-steady, sit back to child's pose. Let your hands and wrists relax. As you're self-studying, just kind of notice if one side felt different than the other. Notice your tendencies. And notice your breath. The breath is always a great place to start. And then make your way back up to all fours. Bring your hands forward again. Claw the floor. Toes curled under. Just lift the knees and send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then just walk your dog out. Oh, stiffness here. Just think low belly up, sits bones up and back, long spine. Armpits already. Sorry. Good. Swivel your heels to the right and then to the left. Good. And back to center. And then extend your right leg up and keep a baby bend in the left knee, but try and lift the right hip and the leg as high as you can. Don't let the left armpit get saggy. Good. And then bring the knee towards your nose. You're going to have to square up the hips to do it. And then send it back up. And then this time, step it to the outside of your right hand. Yeah, good. Lower the back knee. And just stay up on your hands or your fingertips just for a little hip stretch. So hug heel and knee towards each other. Feel the right foot really grounded and widen it a little bit. She's really enjoying herself this morning. Oh, party. Good. And then go ahead and lift the back knee. Step back, down dog. And we're going to prepare for that other side. So I like to put a baby bend in both knees, and then I extend the right leg and think, don't let the right armpit sag, but lift the leg and the hip a little higher. And then square the hips, bring knee to nose. And then extend it back up and step it to the left side, outside of the hand. Lower the back knee and just feel that stretch. Not gonna go too deep yet. Just feel a nice stretch on the inner thigh. Keep the hips square, lengthen the spine, press the left foot down, hug the right knee forward. Good, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. And then come forward to plank pose. Lower your knees and just lower all the way to the mat. And then bring your fingers wide and up on forward and think, stretch your feet long and come up to a funky cobra. And then just kind of wiggle around. I call it flossing your shoulder blades. Kind of feel that. Good. And then lower down. Slide the hands back in by your chest. And lift on up to a cobra. And just feel that. Morning, try not to scoop the tail, but lengthen, draw the low belly up. And lower down. curl the toes, push back, downward facing dog. And slowly step the feet forward to your hands. Come to a forward fold. I want you to make sure your feet are at least hip distance for this first one. You can bend the knees slightly, feel that, and then you can always re-straighten. Just explore your forward fold a little bit. If you want to, grab your elbows and just kind of sway side to side a little bit. Kind of feel it out. And then bend your knees a little more and then round all the way up. You're just kind of slowly coming on up. Let's see, hopefully you're getting a little warm now. I'm going to take off all that and find your blocks. And I'm going to have you set your blocks up this way. So you're going to bring them by the sides of your feet. Your feet are hip distance. And then you're just going to slide them forward until it feels like you're in an L shape. So your shoulders are over your wrist. And then just leave them there. And you'll see why. I'm going to have you do these first few things without them. So come to a forward fold there. And then sweep all the way up. Good. Now bring your weight to your right foot and lift your left knee and interlace the hands in front of the knee. See if you can just kind of notice all the little variation, adjustments and variations that your standing leg makes. Press the knee into the hands, pull the hands back into the knee. Good. And then release. Well, you'll get a second chance. We haven't been doing this, right? We've been not feeling real grounded. So now shift your weight to the other side and bring that knee up. Interlace in front. Draw the low belly up. Sit bones stay back. Lengthen up to the top of the head. And release. Good. Okay, we're going back to the first side. Just bring your arms out to the side now, because I'm going to have you do this. You're going to bring the knee up till you feel stable. And then slowly bring it back behind you. See if you can find the foot. And stretch up. Knee beside knee. Length. One more breath. And then release the foot and see if you can keep your balance and bring the knee forward again. And then down. Good. Sorry, Artie's in your way. Just kick her out if she's in. Shift your weight. Lift the other knee. Slowly bring it back. Find the foot if possible. Stretch up. Just appreciate as you self-study all the little nuances that your body automatically does to help you stay balanced. Good. Release the foot. Bring the knee forward. And down. Good. Well done. Okay, we're going to play with that. And in some sun salutes. So if you need to use blocks, feel free. So what I mean by that is I'm going to have you like lift a knee, and then you'll bring hands to heart center and step it back. So let's do that together. So if you need to use the blocks by your feet and step it back that way, it's fine. So you decide. So inhale, bring the right knee up, extend the arms. Okay, now bring hands to heart center, lean forward a little bit, bend the left knee a little bit, and then just step that foot back so you can ground the heel down and come upright. And voila, you're in warrior one. So feel that. Good, and then to transition back, you bring the hands to heart center, lean forward, shift your weight to your left foot, lift the right knee forward and down. Yeah. So let's try the other side. So inhale, stretch the arms up, lift the left knee. Hands to heart center, lean forward a little bit, step that foot back. Warrior one, you have to ground the heel down. The right knee stays bent. Stretch the arms up. Stay for 3 breaths. Hands to heart center. Lean forward to shift the weight back to the right foot. Lift the left heel. You can slide that foot forward if you need to. Lift the knee and back down. Okay, we're getting the hang of it, right? Now remember, if at some point you get tired and you want to use the blocks and not transition that way, feel free to do it because it's a lot of balance. So inhale, stretch the arms up, lift the right knee. Hands to heart center, lean forward a little bit. Step that foot all the way back, deep lunge this time. Lower the back knee. Stretch up Anjane. Every breath gives you an opportunity to study and refine. On your next exhale, hands to heart center. Lift the back knee. Lean forward. See if you can shift your weight. Lift the knee. And release down. Well done. I'm going to move her. she's like putting her body right underneath Julie. That gives you a little break anyway. So inhale, stretch the arms up, lift the left knee. Find balance. Hands to heart center, lean forward. Step the left foot back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Hug to the midline, stretch up Anjane Asana. Utilizing your breath to just explore. Hands to heart center on the exhale. Lift the back knee. Lean forward. You can drag that foot along and then lift it. That's easier. And then come on down. Good. Inhale. Stretch the arms up. Lift the right knee. Hands to heart center. Lean forward. Step back. That was a fast one for me. Deep lunge. And then just see if you can find, maybe you need to widen the feet a little bit. See if you can find balance to then come upright for crescent warrior. One more breath. And this time, touch down to the floor and step back, downward facing dog. Oh, so sorry. Come forward to plank. Lower to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Just take your time. Exhale back down. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, we got to do the left side. So inhale, lift the arms, lift the left knee. Exhale, hands to heart center. Lean forward, step it back, deep lunge. Find balance, yeah. Might have to pause there and touch down. Find balance and then come up, crescent warrior. And touch all the way down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, lower, broaden the clavicles. You can lower knees if you need to. Inhale, cobra. She's back over. Exhale down. Downward facing dog. I like to just push my hips all the way back, lift the knees. And then just notice how down dog feels a lot better than it did the first time we did it. And step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now we're gonna go to ardha chandrasana. So I'll talk you through it, but make sure your blocks are kind of set up where I had you put them, because it should be just to the outside of your feet and in that spot. Because when we transition, that's where you're gonna want them, okay? So inhale, sweep the arms, lift the right knee. Exhale, hands to heart center. Need to touch down, do step back, deep lunge. This time, ground the back foot down. And transition warrior two. Might have to widen your feet a little bit if you're like me. And take a few breaths. Just self-study. Do I feel grounded? Do I feel strong in my core? Beautiful. These girls look gorgeous. Warriors. Now bring your right hand to your hip, your left elbow to your knee. Parshvakonasana. You can stretch the arm up and over if you'd like. Nice and long. Good, now bring your hand back to your hip. Slide your right foot forward and reach for that block with your left hand. And then lift the back leg, ardha chandrasana. Just play with it. Make sure the weight's right in the middle of your left foot. Its bones are back, everything's engaged. the block feel in the right spot? Got a low belly up. Nice, you guys. Hand back to the hip, bend the left knee, slide that foot back. Warrior two position again. Hands to heart center. This is the tough transition. Lift the back heel, square up the hips. Lean forward. Slide that foot forward. Maybe lift the knee and down. Woohoo! Good job. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift the left knee. Now that you know where we're going, hands to heart center. Step back, deep lunge. Touch down if you need to. Ground the back foot down. Warrior two. Self-study. Feel like the knees tracking straight. Am I wide enough? I like to put a baby bend in the back knee. Always feels good. I'm lifting the arches. Sits bones are back. Really engaged in the core. Good. Left hand to the hip. Right elbow to the knee. And just take your time opening up Parsvakonasana. Right hip crease. Spine back. Belly forward. Shoulder blades back. Good. Left hand to the hip. Look down towards the floor. Slide the left foot forward. Reach for that block with the right hand. And lift to Ardha, chandrasana. Maybe you don't like the blocks there. That's fine with me. I certainly do. Just for extra support to feel like I'm right in the middle of the right foot. Good. Left hand to the hip. Bend the knee. Touch the back foot down. Warrior two. And then hands to heart center. Hard transition. Turn the heel up. Hips face forward. Lean onto the right foot. Slide the left foot forward. Lift it. And bring it down. Well done. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. And fold. Step back. Down dog. Your choice. You can take child's pose or vinyasa. You decide. So if you're coming in vinyasa, come forward to plank. Lower down. Cobra. Stay for an extra bath in cobra. And then lower. Push up and back. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, one more fun one like that. So inhale, stretch the arms, lift the right leg, knee, hands to heart center, step back, deep lunge. Inhale, stretch up, crescent. Exhale, hands to heart center, lean onto your left foot, lean forward, bring the right leg up, warrior three. Good. If you need to touch back down, do. Touch it down, deep lunge. Touch the floor, step back, down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Downward facing dog. Give you a little time to think about that one as you step your feet forward. Deep lunge. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, pranam when you're ready. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, here we go. Inhale, stretch the arms up, lift the left knee. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step it back, deep lunge. Inhale, one quick breath. The crescent, really feeling grounded and strong in the core. Hands to heart center. Lean forward. You might have to slide that foot. Come to warrior three. Your blocks are there if you need to touch down. Whoa. One more breath. Step it back, deep lunge. Touch down, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. And just bring your arms to cactus and lay on your left ear and slide your right knee out to the side. This is called mountain climber. Just a hip opener. Left leg stays long. Also gives you a little rest. Good. Slide that leg back straight. Switch to the other ear. Slide the left knee up. It's about 90 degrees from your core, and your lower leg is 90 degrees from the upper leg. Good. Slide it back. Hands by your chest. Push back. Down dog. Take your time. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, if you're getting tired, remember, you can always do it the old way, but I'm going to encourage you to do it this way. So stretch the arms up, lift the right knee. Hands to heart center, lean, step back, deep lunge, ground the back foot down. Warrior two. Self-study. Straighten the front leg. And transition triangle pose. Nice. These guys are perfect alignment. Lengthen your spine all the way through the top of the head. Bring the right hand to the hip. Look at the floor. Bend the front knee. Slide the back foot in. Grab the block with your left hand. Lift back. Ardha, chandrasana. Realize we hadn't done this pose for a long time, so we have to get into it several ways. Feel the weight right in the middle of your left foot. I never look up when I'm in this pose. I just kind of stay looking at the floor because it's better for me to balance. Right hand to the hip again. Bend the knee. Slide the right foot back. Warrior two. Ooh, good job. Windmill down. Touch the ground. Turn the back heel up. And I'm just going to have you slide forward, bring your hands on the block, and then see if you can transition knee up and bring it down. That was supposed to make it easier, but I think it was harder. It's harder to come all the way from the ground up. So we might skip that. Okay, inhale, stretch the arms up, lift the left knee. Lean forward, hands to heart center, step it back. Ground the back foot down. Take your time coming to warrior two. It's always lots of things to study in warrior two. Is your knee tracking straight? Is your left hip crease still back? Are your sits bones back? Is your core nice and engaged? Lots of things to think about. Feel the arches lifting, all parts of your feet connected to the floor. Straighten the front leg, triangle pose. And then again, just study again. Am I leaning forward? If I am, can I lift a little higher so I feel straight? And then maybe I slide down a little deeper. Your choice. How do I hamstrings feel? Good. Left hand to the hip. Look at the floor for sure. Bend the right knee. Slide that back foot forward. Hand to the block. Take your time. Ardha Chandrasana. Self-study. Lengthen. Good. Bend the front knee. Left hand to the hip. Transition back. Turn the back heel up. And this time step back down dog. And I'm going to give you a choice, child's pose or vinyasa. Your choice. If you're ready for child's pose, just honor that. So study in itself. Not come forward to plank. Lower to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale down. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. You immediately study. Where does your mind go? How does your body feel? Inhale, stretch the arms up, open your eyes. Exhale, fold forward. And come down to a deep squat, whatever that means for you. If you need to widen your feet, do. So it's just a malasana, deep squat. Feel good on your outer hips after those ardha chandrasanas. And then go ahead and transition down to your back in a good position to get there. Poke, poke, poke. Turn way down. And bringing the feet wide on your mat. Arms and cactus. Just do a few windshield wipers here. You can linger where it feels like you need to. And then when you're evened out, bring your knees up, soles of the feet together, let the knees open wide. It's the Baddha Konasana or lying down cobbler's pose. I like to bring my hands on my belly. And then just notice the breath moving in and out there. And then slowly bring the knees together and hug them in towards your chest. And even draw the belly button down towards your spine so you feel like you're lengthening that low back area. And then just one hand on either knee. So in that tucked position, bring the knees wide so they're going towards your armpits. And then slowly push the knees away in that wide position until your arms are full length and your feet are kind of just dangling there. You'll feel a curve come back into your low back. Yeah. And then draw them towards each other. Your feet are just dangling. And hug them back in. Let's do that one more time. So widen them. Push them away till your arms are full length and your feet just dangle there. You feel the curve. Hug them towards each other. And draw them in towards your chest. Now, one time we're going to go the opposite way. So with the knees together, push them away. The feet are dangling. And bring them wide. Draw them up towards the armpits. Notice the transition in the lumbar. And bring them together. Good. Let go of your knees. Bring your hands by your hips, but then push the knees away from you till you feel the curve in the lumbar, and then extend the legs up towards the ceiling. So it feels like legs up the wall, and then just wave your feet or move the ankles a little bit. You can inner spiral and outer spiral the legs a little bit if you want. Feels kind of nice. And then bend the left knee, bring the foot flat, and reach up and interlace behind the right thigh. And press the thigh away from you into your hand. And then maybe extend your left leg to the ground if it feels like you can. If you want more stretch in the hamstring, if this isn't enough for you, you can pull that leg closer and maybe even slide your hands up a little bit, but don't allow the left leg to come up. And the right hip crease still stretches forward. Go where it feels like a good stretch to you. Party. Get in the way again, girlfriend. Come here. Oh, you're loving on Julie. Good. And then bend the right knee, bring the foot flat, and we'll switch to the left side. So interlace behind the left thigh. Stretch the leg long and press it into your hands. If your knee doesn't straighten, that's okay too. Then the right leg. Feel that leg really grounded down. And then you know what to do if you want more stretch. Sometimes after a lot of Christmas celebrating, you want a little more stretch. And then release that foot or leg. Go ahead and transition for Shavasana unless you want any other quieting stretches. I highly recommend you cover up a little bit. And then after every transition, you just think of doing a little self-study. There's tension in my pelvis, my hips that I can release so that it just feels nice and heavy and grounded. There's tension in my jaw that I can release. Let my teeth part slightly. Relax my tongue. Relax soles of my feet. Everything supported by the floor. I count myself fortunate to be my own companion on life's journey. I am interested by my thoughts and perceptions. I am conscious of the many gifts I bring to living: my stamina, my humor, my perceptivity, my integrity. I count myself lucky to be responsible for my unfolding. I appreciate my commitment to being personally responsible for the caliber of my life, for undertaking an active role in the quality of my own life. I applaud my ability to act decisively on my own behalf, to seek out persons and activities which are of interest to me. I remind myself that I am lucky indeed to have someone of my own caliber as my constant friend, my loyal ally. Rather than berate myself for shortcomings or imagine flaws, I cherish the many parts of my character which make me a pleasure in my own life. Benefits of self-study. And to notice that you still have extremities, arms, legs, fingers, toes, to move in small ways. And when you're ready, draw the knees in. Just take your time coming on up to seated. Steady yourself along the way. Steady your physical self. Steady your mental self. Find a seated position when you're ready. Please bring hands to heart center. Just bow towards your own heart. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I don't know if everyone heard me, but next Tuesday I won't have class, but I'll be sending out new links for the next. I think I'll do it probably for the 3 or 4 months, so that you won't have to change links very often, and just come when you can, and I'll let you know. There'll be a few dates when I won't be holding class, so just watch for those. All right, thank you so much, you guys, and hey, Happy New Year. Enjoy the weekend. Bye.
Thanks. Have a great New Year's Eve.
Thanks, you too.
Yep. Plans.
Bye now.
Bye.